Another video of DAZA. Today it's Monday, 7th of March. Yes. A couple of things what I'm doing. It's upside down everything here inside. Obviously there is no space. Classic, not something new. What am I doing? I have prepared a couple of parts that are clean and they're okay and they're reusable, like this what you see in front of you. Some things, some bolts, some gaskets, they're going outside. The parts that I'm gonna use, again, I'm wrapping it in nylon and they're gonna end up in a box because I don't have a space like this to don't come dusty, so I'm not gonna have to wash it again after this. That's what I'm doing right now. Some parts from here, like the sparklers are new. As far as I know, that's what they told me last time. The water pump is okay, I need only the seal, the dipstick with the tube. Some bolts need to be replaced, some bolts I can use them again. Some parts are not being washed, you can see how it's been here. These bolts here, these bolts need to be replaced, these bolts need to be replaced, and this one, these are the side bolts for the crankshaft bearing caps. These three bolts, 1, 2, 3 bolts, it's for the, what in hell is happening? Sorry. These 3 bolts is for the oil pickup tube. For this one, oil pickup tube, it's been washed. Okay. What else? The tensioner here. Some parts I'm washing it through petrol and then detergent, some other only with detergent, some other only with petrol. It depends. Okay, so here on the tensioner, like the other tensioner here, there, I'm watching the surface to be nice, to don't have any problem. I'm watching the bore inside, don't have any scoring. Same thing for the piston. And then I'm checking the check valve. This check valve is located, it's nice and clean. There's no problem. It's sealing, this located way down there inside. For now, all of them, I'm assembling it dry. It doesn't matter for now, it's fine. One second to see that it went in a proper position. Yes, that's how it's supposed to be. Yep, that's a special tool that I'm locking the piston inside here. Yeah, don't ask me why, that's what I have. Okay, that's next, not now. Engine block on engine stand. I have to measure the cylinder bore later on. I have to check the pistons when I'm gonna remove the carbon and the cylinder head. That's the order actually. Here outside, what I have the crankshaft, I have the cylinder head bolts, I have the crankshaft bearing cap bolts, and I have the 2 cam adjuster bolts here. From here I have exhaust manifold gasket, intake manifold gasket 2, because it's been splitted. This is for the vacuum pump and this is a head gasket. I need to get a box because there is a mess here. I forget the differential. Where is the differential? I forget it. Ah, there. That's the differential. Yeah, shit. No, it's not for the DAZA, it's for different. I have to fix also the differential. I'm gonna forget it. So, that's the plan. Today, I'm gonna wrap a couple of things, putting in a box. I have also more, I have another 3 boxes outside with the alternator, with the AC compressor, with the wiring harness, the bracket for the alternator and the AC compressor, the housing, the oil filter housing. What other things I have outside? I have the turbocharger. The turbocharger one checkup fast. It looks like a new one, and wrapping it on nylon. I'm not gonna bother with the turbo. I didn't show any pieces goes inside or something. The fittings been cleaned. Gaskets, I would like to replace it. The seals, they're not even 1 month old, so you can use the seals. The gaskets, it's different with the gaskets. Different if you have, let us say, a seal like this, that's a new one, and you can use it, and different to have a gasket and you have to crash it. It makes sense, I think. What I haven't done, and I'm gonna do it at the end, I haven't bleed the lifters and I haven't even cleaned the lifters. It's with the oil as I remove it from the cylinder head. It's fine. The nuts for the exhaust manifold, I want to replace it because One time it was being torqued down from the factory, okay, and then I lose it when it came to rebuild the engine, and then I torque it down again, and then it went the owner to another garage and they put a different exhaust manifold, so they loosed again and they torqued it down again. I would like to put a new one, don't want to put this old one. Yep, the same thing also for the bolts for the damper pulley. Damper pulley bolts, I want to use a new one because I already stretched it. The bolts that you are stretching it, you cannot use them twice. There is a way, but I don't want to get a chance, especially for this engine. Alright, what else? Somebody mentioned something about the piston ring gap. See, if you don't fix the piston ring gap on this application, it's not a bone stock. The engine is reaching at 4 digits output for the horsepower I'm talking about. If you don't fix the piston ring gap, what you're gonna end up? You're gonna end up to expand so much on the temperature of the piston ring, and then either you're gonna break the piston or you're gonna have different catastrophic failures. It's different to be burnt from the temperatures and different to be expanded that much that it doesn't have anywhere to go. That's one thing. I said before, should I repeat it again now? No worries, screw it, I'm gonna repeat it again, no problem. We're gonna spend 10 minutes, right? Let us say that I smoke one cigarette. I built this engine a year ago, more than a year ago, okay? The engine was running fine for at least 11 months, as far as I know. Then, recently, before it happened, this one, he went to another place, and they changed for him the turbo, the exhaust manifold, the dual mass flywheel, and I don't know what else, honestly. Again, the owner, he's free to go wherever he wants. There is no problem with that from my side, you know. So, and then in less than a month later, the dual mass flywheel came loose. Alright. So before I do that, I get compression, and I saw that it was have low compression pressure. It was something 11 bar. I have it on video. I haven't watched the video yet. One of the reasons is, boom, piston ring. Yay. So now, how it was being tuned the car. I said also before that my opinion is that since it came loose, the dual mass flywheel, the reading wheel, you can watch on the previous video, it became also loose. And the holes of the reading wheel that has on the crankshaft, it's precise. That means when it became like an egg, like oval shape, the holes of the reading wheel, because very thin the metal there, it's just only to squeeze it like a sandwich. The reading wheel was going all over the place, so the crankshaft was a sensor. It didn't have the proper readings. The ignition timing was not right. When you are reaching, let us say, on the limit, and you're on the limit of the ignition timing, except for the ignition timing, you have also fuel injector timing. You have the injection timing. So when you're on the limit with the tune, and then the reading wheel, it starts making this movement for a couple of degrees plus minus, what you're expecting is going to happen, you know? So, for me, my opinion, like I said before, the broken melt spark plug, the burnt piston rings, because with a burnt piston ring, you're not going to make so much power. You have to apply much more boost. When you apply much more boost, you have more blow by because of this. And that's why the color inside of the engine. That means if you continue driving the engine with these piston rings, inside it's going to come completely black, because all the explosion is going to pass through the combustion chamber down inside of the crankcase. So I believe that whatever happened very recently. The bearings, the condition of the bearings, if I close, let us say, the engine like that, with the old bearings, I mark it, I'm tracing the bearings, I have a reason, I have mentioned this a couple of times, I'm not going to use these bearings, I'm going to put a new one. But if I put, let us say, these bearings, I close everything on the engine. The oil pump is beautiful, it doesn't have any problem at all. And I give to the owner, you're not going to be able to make even 1,000 kilometers. After 1,000 kilometers, with the problem that have the bearing, you're going to get seized the engine. In any case, it is what it is. Now, let's fix it properly, torque it down properly, change the bolts that need to be replaced. Don't gambling on that. Why I'm wrapping it and I'm putting in a box? Because I'm waiting the crankshaft, dual mass flywheel, bearings, gaskets, bolts, and all these things. I have nothing. Piston rings. Like I said, need to get some measurements from the engine block to be okay. before I said for the piston rings that you have to be careful what kind of piston rings you're gonna use. They told me that this piston rings been designed for these cylinders. It's fine with me, there is no problem at all. If he burn the piston rings, again, he's not gonna burn it after almost a year of driving the car. Because the first 11 months before this happened, he always have a turbo upgrade, he always have a tune, he always have a methanol. He was running on ethanol. So it was not like it was a bone stock, it was running for 11 months bone stock. No, it's not the case. It was running on tune and it was with all this what I mentioned earlier. So if there was any problem, you're not gonna survive. And if there was any problem, you're not gonna get loose the dual mass flywheel. Let us say you're running 11 months, you're pushing hard the car, and then suddenly it comes loose. At the beginning, I didn't even know that the owner, he went and he changed the dual mass flywheel. I didn't even remember the exhaust manifold, to be honest with you. Like I said, the exhaust manifold was not being torqued down, the inner bolts, because it'll be tricky to torque it down, you have to modify the tool. You can see also the bracket here that's not straight anymore. The outer bolts was much more torqued down. Yeah, classic. I have already mentioned that. If you watch the previous videos, you're gonna see all these things. Moving on. Small update. Moving on. I hope that we're gonna have a chance today to measure it. My priority is what I'm doing right now. Have priority the Mustang outside, that I don't have the parts. I don't have the axles. I have the Porsche, I have the CJX, I have the BWA. Fortunately, the customer with the CJX and the BWA engine, he said that he wants to fix short block, only without the cylinder heads. That means that's a good thing for me. Why? I'm not gonna wait for guides, I'm not gonna wait for valves. Same thing also for the BWA. So I'm gonna prepare all these parts. I have to do it today to empty some space. I'm gonna send him back the parts that I'm not gonna use. Also the BWA, the old one. Why am I putting this on this video? This was the DAZA, right? Yeah, I'm dumb. Yeah, screw it. Okay, that's it with the DAZA. Continue. Moving on. It's gonna be different video for the rest. Just, what's the point here? I'm starting, let us say, with one car, for example, that's outside, that has priority. For me, has priority because it came before all this. All right? Then I don't have a part to continue with this car. I'm jumping to an engine to do some things, to wash it, prepare it, or whatever. When I don't have a parts for this engine, I'm jumping to the other engine. When I'm finalize also that one and I don't have any parts to move on, I'm going to a different engine. That's the order. I still have also the Porsche. The Porsche came recently. I have the Porsche down the floor. But again, this is a different video. Just one idea what's going on. It's been mess here. And the guys outside, they have plenty of job on the jacks with other cars. That's it. Thank you.